Task 4, Solving Linear Programming Problems. In this task, you will have to set up and solve the real-world linear programming problems. There are situations in business where a company hopes to maximize profit or minimize their costs. Linear programming is used to calculate these maximums and minimums. I've made a list of steps for solving these linear programming problems, and it'll be helpful to start off with to follow these steps. Step number 1, define your variables. What is x, what is y? Second step, write a system of inequalities. Third step, graph that system of inequalities. Next step, fourth step, find the coordinates of the vertices of your solution region. Fifth step, write a linear function to be maximized or minimized. This is your objective function. Step 6, substitute the coordinates of the vertices into that function. And step 7, select the greatest or least result to answer the problem. Now, a lot of these steps you've done. All we're doing here really is adding in step 1 and step 2. You've done steps 3 and 7 in task 3. So let's try an example. Each week, Mackenzie can make 10 to 25 necklaces and 15 to 40 pairs of earrings. If she earns a profit of $3 on each pair of earrings and $5 on each necklace, and she plans to sell at least 30 pieces of jewelry, how can she maximize her profit? So, first thing I have to do is decide what's x and what's y. That's step 1. Well, what do I have to find the number of? We're talking about jewelry, and we're talking about two different types of jewelry. Mackenzie can make necklaces, and she can make some earrings. So I'm going to let x equal the number of necklaces that Mackenzie's going to make. And so y is going to be the number of earrings. Number of pairs of earrings. Okay, moving on to step 2, I have to write a system of inequalities. When you write your system of inequalities, these are the constraints. What are the constraints? What's going to keep Mackenzie from making as many necklaces and earrings as she wants to? Well, the first thing it tells us is that Mackenzie can make between 10 to 25 necklaces. She can't make any more than 25. She can't make any less than 10. So that's an inequality. That's got to go into my system of inequalities. X has to be a number between 10 and 25. I got to put some inequality symbols. X has to be greater than or equal to 10, but also less than or equal to 25. It also says that she can only make 15 to 40 pairs of earrings. Earrings are y. So I'm going to put those two numbers in between y. Again, y has to be more than or equal to 15, but it has to be less than or equal to 40. Now, is there anything else that would limit how many she can make? Well, yeah. At the end it says she plans to sell at least 30 pieces of jewelry. So she has to have at least 30 pieces of jewelry, the number of necklaces plus the number of earrings has to be at least, so has to be greater than or equal to 30 pieces. There's my system of inequalities. Now we need to graph this system. Now the first part about graphing these types of problems is you're probably going to have to change your scale. I'm going to do a little bit of work before we talk a little bit more about changing the scale, because I want to put this bottom inequality I'm going to move my x over so I can graph it. Now the first two inequalities, the one where x is between 10 and 25 and y is between 15 and 40, the top one are going to be two vertical lines, and the bottom, the light blue, is going to be two horizontal lines. Now if we notice, my x's have to be between 10 and 25, my y's have to be between 15 and 40, my y-intercept on this last inequality is 30, so when I graph these, I need to change the scale of my graph so that I can fit everything in. I'm going to change it so that, and I'm going to spread it out just because these boxes are really close together, but I'm going to go every other line is 5 units. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on the other set of axes. I'm not going to change that. Now, one other thing we should talk about with these types of linear programming problems, because we're talking about real-world items, in this case, the number of necklaces and the number of earrings, we're only going to ever be working in the first quadrant for these problems. So I'm not even going to worry about having axes in the middle of this graph. I know x has to be between 10 and 25. So I'm going to have a vertical line at 10, and a vertical line at 25, which should be right here. And on my y's, those have to be between 15 and 40. So I'm going to have a horizontal line going through 15. I got to go up to 40. So 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 should put me right here. Now I had one more equation. That last inequality, sorry, inequality, not equation, had a y-intercept of 30 and a slope of -1, down 1 over 1. I'm going to skip a couple of boxes, down 1 over 1. Now, as long as you've made both axes the same, you can just count the boxes like you normally would for any other slope. Now, one thing I haven't done is I haven't shaded. But I know that for the necklaces, I had to be between 10 and 25. And for the earrings, I had to be between 15 and 40. And with the last inequality, I want to make sure that I'm making more than 30. That x plus y is more than 30. So my solution region is this region right here. It's all of this stuff. By the way, this is step 3, graphing your system. Okay, step 4. We want to find all of these vertices. I have a vertex at 15, 15, 25, 15, 25, 40, 10, 40. So I got a lot here. And 10, 20. Step 5 is going to be to take each of those vertices. Step 5 is going to be to write your objective function. How do we maximize and minimize Mackenzie's profit? Well, we're told that she can make $5 profit for each necklace. So our profit is going to equal 5 times X. And she can make $3 in each pair of earrings. So 3 times Y. For the sake of time, I'm going to sort of do some magic here. For step 6, if you plug all your points in, let's say I was plugging in 2540 into that equation, I would find that I get a profit of $245. And so to answer the question, Mackenzie needs to make 25 necklaces. Oops. Not 24, 25 necklaces. And she needs to make 40 pairs of earrings to make a profit, a maximum profit of $245. I'm going to make a second video for example 2 if you think you need some more practice with this, or maybe you'll get stuck on a question as you're trying the worksheet out. So look for the second video for example 2.